Howdy, howdy, YouTube, everybody. How you doing today? Trucker Hank with you. April 18th, 2018. I am on I-95 northbound out of Kingman for Las Vegas, Nevada right now. And I left my home in central Arizona a few hours ago and headed to Lone Mountain Truck Leasing in North Las Vegas, Nevada, and going to go over there and pick myself up a 2014 Freightliner Cascadia. So I told you guys I'd tell you how it went today. I guess today was the day before leaving to go down here. Well, to be honest with you, a couple hiccups in the road, but that's to be expected. If you've been a truck driver for any time at all, like 5 minutes, you'll know there's always going to be a hiccup, and that's part of your job is overcoming the hiccups. So I had filled out all my paperwork for Landstar, and forgive the sunglasses, but it's a bright day out here. I'd filled all the paperwork out for Landstar, and I'd submitted it to my coordinator over there at the Qualification Center, and I've already done my truck test and all the other background checks and everything. She might have been under the weather today. I don't know what it was, but she didn't get back to me for like 5 hours after I submitted the paperwork. And it's usually her asking me what's going on. When am I going to get my paperwork in, and so on and so forth. Or she might have just been swamped. Or, I just got lost in the shuffle. Whatever the case, I ended up with a delay, and it was because I used Adobe. Since I've got Adobe on the computer at home, I use that to sign all my paperwork. You know how you just do yourself a signature and you take an image of that and you just use that to sign paperwork? Well, they didn't like that. I'm hoping they don't mind me filling in everything with Adobe. Hey, Chanel, say hi to everybody. This is Truck Dog Chanel. Say hello to the world, Chanel. Say hello. Yeah? No? Yeah? For some reason, she does not like the car. So it's been a nervous ride for her all the way up here, huh? Oh yeah, I don't like a car. Well, come up here, come on. Come on up here, come on. Girl. And, so I gotta go to the FedEx, I'll be here about 4:30, it's about 3:15 in the afternoon as I speak. And, I'll be going to the, FedEx office center, after I check into my, my little hotel. And I was going to go over to Lone Mountain and do the paperwork today, but I need to get my end straight and get everything I need done. I will, let me get this cruise back on. I will get I'm going to have to go print out all the signature pages and reinsert them into each file, each PDF file. With a hand-drawn signature that's hand-drawn on each individual signature line, even though the one I gave them was my hand-drawn signature. It was a copy of the same signature over and over again. You would fill and sign, fill and sign, fill and sign. Those of you who use the program, you know. But anyway, I'm going to go take care of that. Please forgive the sunglasses. And, it's okay, baby. It's okay. And, I'm really watching the cars here. I'm doing 70 miles an hour, and I got cars popping out in front of me. And you're going to see them right behind me here over my left shoulder. And the intersection, I don't know if you caught a glimpse of that. Anyway, well, I have a speedometer in here, and it's accurate. I like to set my speed by the GPS speed. I don't know why. Just kind of got used to doing that. Okay, sweetie. She's very needy right now. See, my speedometer says 68 and my GPS says 67. So I typically go by the GPS. All right, there we go. 69. 69 on the GPS. And 69 on the speedometer. Okay, well, whatever. So, I'll be going over there in the morning to Lone Mountain to fill out all the rest of the paperwork, because I'm going to get Landstar the stuff they need from me today. Now, just letting you know, on this 2014 Freightliner Cascadia lease purchase, and it is a true lease purchase. There's no balloon payment at the end once I pay it off. It's mine, but it's not a finance contract where, you know, you're paying an interest rate and you can pay ahead the loan and save yourself some money on the interest. This is a lease, so you have to pay every single payment that you agree to. Unfortunately, I don't think my my credit would have been strong enough for an awesome finance rate. You know, I was a little dismayed when I went through Schneider, and I'll make sure you guys are still on here. I went through Schneider, and yeah, we're still going here. Okay, good. The Schneider finance people turned me down cold. Said, "Oh no, you only want to give us $6,000 down on a $25,000 truck." I'm like, "No, it's a $30,000 truck." Still, I'm like, "Okay, that seems reasonable to me. It's 20% down." But they weren't interested in that. Arrow said yeah, but theirs, I believe, if I would have said yesterday it was finance, I think I was mistaken. I think that was a lease as well. And then, anyway, we got approved by Arrow and by Lone Mountain, and one other bank for traditional bank financing. If I had come up with, I think it was 30 or 40% down. I'm like, I don't know. So, anyway, okay, so the sign-on process with Landstar. I did the application, and let me tell you something, budget 1 month for them to get you qualified, all right? I've never had a company bother the company I currently worked for at the time I applied, over about a month ago, bother the safety department as much as Landstar bothered that safety department. They wanted every T crossed and every I dotted. Landstar is serious about checking your previous references and getting experience. They want a solid experience statement, not just from you, but from your former employers. Okay, does he drive in snow? Does he have to chain up? What highways? What states? You know, so on and so forth. They want to know that you're going to be able to handle what you're going to be doing for Landstar. Personally, me, if I had never driven in snow, and I mean, just because I worked for, let's say, I'm not going to say who I worked for, but it wasn't a major carrier. But I've never worked for a Swift. But if I had been a Swift driver, I could have avoided snow all of my career. I could have worked for them for 5 years and avoided snow. Or I could have been in snow every winter from the beginning to the end, just depending on where I was at with Swift, you know? So Landstar really wants to know where you're, you know, what's going on. But me personally, you're not going to catch me in too much snow. I mean, I'll drive in the snow, and I'll do it carefully when I have to, but I'm not going to go looking for it, okay? Let's say the Midwest will not be in my repertoire in the wintertime. I don't mind western snow so much because they're really good at keeping the roads clear, because it's more like blizzards. Roads are covered. Next day out, they've got the roads clear, and you know, it's not so bad. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Landstar, getting qualified with them. So budget a month. They're gonna check your background. They're gonna do all that other stuff. And once you get all that done, they're gonna have you go for a drug test. Make sure you got a good physical. That's all a part of the qualification. And then, so then I had the good fortune of being able to fill out all the paperwork. Make sure you hand sign that paperwork. They're going to ask you to. Okay. And I learned the hard way. Now, God bless the people over at Lone Mountain. I've been frustrated. There's such a demand for trucks right now. At Lone Mountain, I think they've got 1, 2, 3, or 4 locations, or maybe more. There's such demand for pre-owned trucks right now that they're having a hard time keeping them up. Like, and I think in Atlanta, they've got 2 shifts going. You know, ready. They buy auction trucks. Like my truck's a former Swift truck. Speaking of Swift, which I don't mind because, you know, Swift, these major corporations are going to have regular maintenance. You know, and when something breaks, they're going to fix it. They're going to keep the truck on the road. So hopefully the truck's okay. You know, but Lone Mountain has really put up with me. The process with them was I applied and they verified my employment. They verified it. They verified that I had funds for both the down and funds equal to the down in my bank, so they knew I'd have at least something to fall back on. They're really big on me having, let's say they want $4,000 down, they're really big on you having at least $3,500 in the bank, is what I think she said. So they verified that through bank statements, and I think a screenshot of current balance through my bank, and then they do verify references. They call all your references. They're very serious about that. So both Landstar and Lone Mountain. Now, a bonus with Lone Mountain, if you sign up with Landstar, you're going to get $1,000 off your down, basically, because they're going to give you $500 off the initial down payment. So my down payment was $4,200, and it was lowered to $3,700 because I qualified with Landstar. I had qualified with somebody else, but that was just my backup. And then they're gonna, if I'm with Landstar 6 months from now, I get a $500 off of a payment then. So that's $1,000 just for going with Landstar. And I think they like Landstar because they know guys are successful over at Landstar. I'm not saying Landstar is a bed of roses and you don't have to work for your money. It's like anything else. It's what you make of it. You know, that's what they offer. So anyway, I went through the qualification process with them, and God bless them, because I really gave my salesman a hard time. He's like, nah, they have such a demand for the trucks. He said, he said, oh, you got to give us a deposit on the truck. I go, how much is that? He goes, well, it's the down payment. If you want us to hold it for you, and if we don't have one ready, when you give us the down payment, it's going to take us 3 or 4 days to get one of the ones we've already bought ready. I didn't like that, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I hung up on him. I called to complain to the lady that was the salesman. I called to complain to the lady in finance, and lo and behold, the lady whose father started the company called me. She was the sales manager, and she talked me down off the ledge. She says, hey, listen, I know it's a big step, but usually guys that care this much about what's going on and are this worried about the truck's performance and whether or not there's a warranty and what's going to happen. And I even said, hey, I've seen some YouTube videos of some things that concern me, but I also take some things with a grain of salt. You know, I've seen some guys totally slam Lone Mountain, and I've seen some guys say, it's okay, and other guys say, hey, it works, and other guys recommend them. So, so far, I'm at a solid recommend. We'll see how I am 6 weeks from now, right? Because what I'm going to do, it's Wednesday, April 18th. A few days from now, next Monday, I'm going to be in Sparks, Nevada, at my orientation for Landstar. And I think that's going to take 3 or 4 days. And I'm going to get my my ELD installed, and then I'll get dispatched to go pick up a trailer, and then I'll get my first load. And then I'll probably go back to Phoenix and figure out a way to get my car from Las Vegas. Maybe that's a good idea. But truth be told, I'll probably get my truck tomorrow, drive it all the way back to Phoenix, and I will set my truck up. Because it's got to be ready for me and my co-driver. That's Chanel. Chanel number 5. as I like to call her, or Truck Dog. And Truck Dog and I are gonna see how we do over at Landstar. So anyway, the experience of coming on and getting a truck at Landstar, you know, there's a lot of little hoops you got to jump through. Tomorrow I will see if they liked the engine data plate picture that they require you to send in. I did notice that the engine, I had the salesman send that into Landstar for me. So yeah, to answer anybody's question, have I bought a truck that I haven't seen? Yeah, I have. Believe it or not, fleet owners do this thing all the time, even with used trucks. The company I worked for before coming here bought a truck from Landstar Leasing. The guy in front of me is washing his windows, and it's going on my clean window. I mean, you gotta love that. Oh, Lord. Well, you gotta laugh if you don't have a 50 cal mounted to the roof. But, kidding. A 30 would do the job. So, anyway, yeah, so they needed a picture. Oh, by the way, yeah, I bought the truck without seeing it, but I haven't signed any paperwork. Tomorrow I'll go drive the truck. As a part of my test drive, I'll take it to a shop that's qualified to do Landstar inspections. If there's any problems and it doesn't pass a Landstar inspection, obviously Lone Mountain's going to take care of it. If there's any problems with it, you know, if I'm holding the wheel sideways and it's going down the road, you know, they're going to hear about that from me. I'm going to try to put 30 or 40 miles on it. Now, I know some really bumpy sections of freeway in Vegas. It's not so easy to do when you're bobtailing, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to try and get all the shocks warm. I work in that suspension, and I'm going to try to feel each shock. By the way, if you can feel one shock on one side of the vehicle that's warm after you drive it a good distance, and the other side is not warm, good chance that one that's not warm is it's not working. So I'll check all the shocks and see if they're all warm. I'm a big stickler for that. I'm a big stickler for like if you look at the wheel of my car, I like to just have a wheel that doesn't, I don't like to do this or have to hold it. So Freightliner, it seems like every time I've ever complained about it at Ryder or for the lease trucks, always have some kind of a pull, but you know, but it's so bad that I'm scrubbing going down the road. No, I don't put up with that. I'll get the cupping on the tires, or a bad shock will give me the cupping, or a bad kingpin, something like that on the front end. But, so I'm a big stickler for the front end, the clutch, the brakes. Nice thing about the Lone Mountain is I'm sure if the front tires aren't at least 70%, I'll be able to complain my way into a new set. And they'll have to be a matched set. They'll have to have even wear, or else I'll just, you know, hey, it's not going to work. And that's, I'm sure they'll be reasonable about that. That's a safety thing. And they put all new Virgin drives on. So you start out with Virgin drives, and then if I don't see brakes at least 50%, that's a problem. If the clutch doesn't feel right, that's a problem. Oh, by the way, I'll take it over to a little shop in Vegas called W.W. Williams and get it, well, I think they're all over the country, but I just know where one is in Vegas. I'll get it dynoed, and if there's any problem that needs to be addressed from that, typically I think from dynos you can, I've been around 2 trucks, just 2, when they've been dynoed, and both came back healthy. They did it for different employers. But I'm told that you can find out if there's problems with power, or if there's problems with the turbo or injectors, that kind of thing. So that'll be nice to see, especially when a turbo is as much as they are nowadays. Variable geometry turbos, since they need to put out 18 pounds of boost at idle because of all the back pressure. Everybody wanting air as clean as what God breathes, which is not bad. Don't get me going. I would just wish we had a more reliable way of doing it. And I guess the technology will eventually get there. Because I do like getting out of my truck and standing next to it, take a break when I'm on the highway, and I can have, you know, turned down below the frame exhaust. And with the newer emissions equipment, I can't even smell the truck running. And I've got a sensitive sniffer. Look at that thing, it's huge. So, you know, older trucks, you can just smell them. And like when I drive in the desert and the still air at night, you come down off a hill and you know you're near a truck stop when you hit that level in the atmosphere where all the exhaust from that truck stop has risen to where you're at. You roll down the window and it smells like a pollution factory. That's all the older non-emissions trucks running. And if all the trucks in that truck stop were EPA 10 and better, you wouldn't smell that truck stop. I'll bet you people in small towns where they have truck stops, I mean, there's something to it, you know. I mean, but now they say that the DEF is going to kill the bees. I don't know. I just know that I can tell the difference in the way that any truck smells. But I also know as a driver, I've seen a real reliability problem. So that's the biggest fear I have with this whole Lone Mountain new truck thing. There's a couple workarounds on emissions problems if you don't have $5,000 to replace it, but we'll never go into that on these videos. I recommend a guy named Makes Sense if you have a Cummins and you need a tune-up. But anyway, I'm getting close to those hills. For those of you who know the road between Kingman and Boulder City, headed south or north towards Boulder City. It's gonna be pretty soon here. I'm gonna be doing the ups and down. It's pretty good. Now look at this guy I got behind me in the red Kenworth. You guys see him yet? He is on my ass, and that is one of my pet peeves as a driver, is I don't like being tailgated. You know what I mean? Belly Jean? It's an unprofessional thing to do. Get over way back there, truck. I know you're so used to driving to California and New York and New Jersey and the Midwest where all the trucks are, it's McCarrier with a Las Vegas sign. McCarrier. That is a name. Look at him. He's all the way over. He's in my lane. Literally, I'm not kidding you. And he's in the other person's lane. Oh, you gotta see this. Of course, now he's back in his lane. Well, you know what? I'm gonna reach over to my dash cam and hit save and see if I can't mix some of that in, because yeah, I'll try to mix that video in with you guys, because he had to get his ass over here, right? Sorry, it's a family show. He had to get over, and then he had to ride in my lane just then. I just thought that was funny as all get out. The name of the company is Mick Carrier. So yeah, I just reached over to my my dash cam and I just hit save, and you'll see what I mean when I say he's in my lane. Some guys, man, that's what we're out here dealing with. I'm gonna say about, I don't know, is it optimistic for me to say that 65% of the guys out here are pros, but there's about 40 or 50%, maybe 35, I don't know, that are somewhat questionable, and there's a good solid 15 or 20% that are just downright dangerous. Anyway, this video's gone on and on. It's not all about that. Trucker Hank signing off and thanking you for joining me, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Bye-bye.